Why did import substitution, industrialization fail in Latin America? Imagine a country trying to grow its own food, make its own clothes, and build its own cars all at once. That was the goal of import substitution industrialization in Latin America. After World War II, many countries wanted to stop relying on foreign goods and create their own industries. They thought this would make their economies stronger and more independent. They put high taxes on imported products to protect local factories. At first, things looked promising. More factories opened, and cities grew bigger with new jobs. But soon, problems started to show up. Many industries became inefficient because they only sold to their own country. They had no reason to improve or lower prices because they didn't face international competition. This meant they stayed small and unproductive. Countries also kept their currencies overvalued, making imports cheap and exports expensive. This hurt their ability to sell goods abroad and created trade problems. Governments often lacked the skills and resources to run these industries well. They gave favors to certain companies, which led to corruption and waste. Instead of focusing on long-term growth, they kept protecting failing businesses. Another issue was that countries didn't invest enough in roads, schools, or technology. Without good infrastructure or skilled workers, industries couldn't grow strong enough. Latin American countries also had many small markets that didn't allow companies to grow big enough to compete internationally. People moved from rural areas to cities looking for jobs, but many ended up unemployed or working in low-paying jobs. This increased poverty and inequality in cities. External factors made things worse. The global economy was controlled by rich countries that set the rules for trade. Latin American countries couldn't change these rules easily. They faced falling prices for their raw materials and rising debt. All these issues combined made it clear that protectionism alone wouldn't lead to real progress. Countries needed better institutions, more investment, and access to global markets. This story of failure shows how Latin America's history of colonialism and economic inequality made it hard to build a strong, independent economy. Protecting local industries without fixing underlying problems just kept the cycle of poverty and dependence going. Later, many countries moved toward opening their markets and focusing on exports, learning from the mistakes of import substitution industrialization.